Hello everyone, welcome to Auto All About. So for today's video we have with us the 2022 Great Wall Motors Power pickup truck. This truck is also known as the Canon or the Canon X or the UTE or P series depending on the market. However, this is a mid-size truck produced by Great Wall Motors on the platform of the Haval H9, the mid-size SUV from the brand. And the name Power is actually a short form of words powerful, off-road, enjoyable and reliable. The car is powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with 188 horsepower and 360 Newton meters of torque. It is mated with a ZF 8-speed automatic gearbox. Comes along with a standard all-wheel drive with a 4-wheel low-range mode. So the car is capable of some mild off-roading. Definitely we will try that in a moment. So in today's video, we will have a full in-depth review of the Power truck along with the test drive. So let's start with the exterior first. So looking at the front end styling, from the front end look, it is somewhat similar to the H9 SUV itself. The grille shape and the headlamps are almost similar. So coming into details, the major attraction here is this logo of the Power series, which Haval is given. It looks somewhat weird, but that gives some kind of attraction to this vehicle. And in the center there are some sensors mounted for the adaptive cruise control and all. And below there we have a high definition front view camera, lot of chrome in the front end. And coming towards the lights, here we have the daytime running lamps on currently, and also there is a sequential LED indicator lamp integrated to this one. Full LED headlamps this time. Here's a high beam and this is a lower beam. And coming below we will have the fog lamps. Also works as the assist lamp when we are turning the vehicle to the right or the left. There are front parking sensors available. The truck has got somewhat a massive look here that definitely adds road presence to this vehicle. There is a massive fenders, we can see. The fenders are finished in a grey color for this particular model. There is a platinum turbo badge given on each side, and there are some smooth design lines given on the hood as well. If you look at the windshield, you can see there is a front view camera and a sensor for the rain sensing. So the car has got the lane keep assist and many other safety features. So those cameras helps the car to get these functions done. And if you look at the top, there is a standard sunroof available. The mirrors has a dual tone finish. Comes along with another high definition camera and an LED indicator lamp. On the side we can see there's a nice footboard given all the way for the front and rear passengers, and the door lock and unlock function only available for the front doors. There's a chrome strip given at the bottom of the windows. Overall a nice touch. The side view looks are really good for a pickup truck of this size. If you come to the rear, there's a shark fin antenna mounted on the top, and there's a nice chrome bar given that definitely adds a massive feel to this truck. And the fuel filler cap is located to the right side, and there is a release button to open that from inside. Now when we comes to the rear, this full option platinum trim level comes along with a bed closer which has got a lock and unlock button over here. To open that, simply press the button and push it. There is a hydraulic assist provided for that. And here is a look at the bed itself. This has got a liner done from the factory itself. Then there is an emergency unlock buttons are given on each side, and a latch to pull and close it. There are no lighting or anything inside this bed anyways. So if you want more access, we have the opening for the trunk door. So here is a look at the bed of the truck, and there is another button given here for the lock and unlock. This is currently in the lock mode, and here is the unlock mode. Once we kept it unlocked, we cannot lock it from outside. So again we'll have to keep it into unlock position, then only it can be unlocked like this. The damping function is given for this tailgate so that it will be opening slowly. So in order to close this bed cover, simply use this string to pull it and bring closer, close it by hand and push on each side until you hear a click sound. So that locks the bed cover for you. So here is a look at the rear end. Nice tail lamps, full LED this time. And if you look at the tailgate itself, we have the large platinum writing given in the center with the Great Wall Motors and the Poyer badging on the sides. There is a rear view camera mounted above the Great Wall logo. At the bottom we have nice steps given here with more parking sensors. The exhaust is mounted at the bottom along with the spare tire, which can be released using releasing mechanism given, which will insert through this hole and will rotate it counterclockwise to lower the spare tire. So here is a look at the overall side profile. The truck looks really massive. If you talk about the wheels, the car comes with a 265 series tires with 18-inch wheels in this full option trim level. There is a nice dual tone wheels. Again comes with that Poyer logo. Now talking about the suspension, in the rear we are getting the leaf spring suspension, and on the front we have a double wishbone setup here. So overall ride comfort is good for a pickup of this size. So this car is offered at a price point of 95,000 dirhams here in UAE for this full option platinum trim level, which is really good for the luxury features and the performance provided by this car. However, we will take a look at the interior and talk more about the car now. So before that, here is a key fob of the Poyer truck. Again comes with the Poyer logo on the back side and the lock unlock, panic and a remote start button itself. So the remote start function works in a different way in this car. We have to press once and immediately press and hold the remote start button once again to start the car. Here the car starts for us. Now to get inside, so the car does come to the keyless entry system. To unlock the car, there is a sensor behind the door handle. Just grab it to unlock the car, and to lock it you can use these buttons given on the driver and passenger side doors. So once we unlock the door, pretty wide opening door with a beautiful soft touch multi-tone finish. There is a nice leather finish given here along with the window controls. So only the driver side window has got the automatic up and down function. There's a scroll lock button located here. Door lock and unlock buttons are given on this side. Nice aluminum door handles. Only the door opening buttons, only the window control buttons felt slightly cheaper. Otherwise the finishes are all good. There's nice soft touch injection molded plastic finish given on the top. There's one woofer and one tutor given as part of the 6-speaker audio system. There are some good amount of storage space given at the bottom part, which is finished in some hard touch plastic. Again, this is a look at the running board, which we have talked about it earlier. And here is the look at the beautiful interior of this luxury platinum trim level of the Poyer truck. So when we talk about the seats, these are nice leather finish seats with some perforations and diamond stitchings given. The seats are adjustable in 6-way for the driver and 4-way for the passenger. There is reclining adjustments, forward and backward movements, and along with up and down movements. Those are the 6-way power adjustments. So let's get inside the car and talk about it more. Very solid door. Here is the start stop button given. So now talking about the interior, a really nice finished interior, especially with this dual tone color. The leather and this black color combination gives a nice appealing look. There are a lot of aluminum finishes, piano black finishes, so multicolor finishes overall we can say. So let's have a look at it in details. The major attractions here is a 9-inch infotainment screen along with a fully digital instrument cluster for this full option model. All are nicely customizable screens. We will come to that in a moment. So let's start as usual from the left side end. Here we have the mirror adjustments along with the mirror folding function. There is an instrument cluster brightness adjustment rotary button given here along with the headlight beam level adjustment. Nice aluminum air vents given. So the air vent operation is something in a different way. To close the air vent completely, you have to just push it towards the lower end, then the vent is completely closed, or else you can adjust the flow accordingly with this same button. On the top of the dashboard we have nice soft touch finish given here along with this leather finish and some hard touch finishes at the bottom. There's a luxury badging given on the passenger side on the dashboard. So now coming towards the steering wheel itself, it's a fully round steering wheel. A flat bottom one was a good add-on if it was possible. So the steering wheel comes with a manual tilt function. There is no telescopic function available for this model. So on the steering wheel we can see multiple controls along with two paddle shifters mounted to the steering wheel itself. Now on the left side of the steering column we have the headlights and the indicator lamp control stack. There is fully automatic headlamps available for this car along with fog lamps at the front and rear. On the right side we have the control stack for the automatic wiper which is given in the front. Now on the center we have again the Great Wall logo, comes with a nice horn. There are some aluminum finishes given on the steering wheel itself. On the left side of the steering wheel we can see there is an OK button which controls the instrument cluster. We will come to that in detail in a moment. Other than that we have here the volume plus and minus buttons, and again these 4 buttons controls the instrument cluster itself. On the right side we have the cruise control. The car comes along with the adaptive cruise control system, so these buttons control the adaptive cruise control. This button here adjusts the distance from the car moving in front of us, and here is the Bluetooth hands-free answering buttons and the next previous buttons and the source selection for the media which we are playing. Now coming into the instrument cluster, this is a fully digital instrument cluster given by Great Wall this time. So to control that one, there is an OK button given here to select the menu whichever we want, and you can use the right and left buttons to navigate through different options. Currently we are in a menu shown as a car logo, so in that we have multiple sub menus available. To get that we have to use the up and down buttons. So if you go down we have the trip meters, we have the average speed and fuel economy details and the range details. There's a tire pressure monitoring system comes along with the tire temperature monitoring, a nice feature, and then this is a digital speedometer at the end. So in order to reset the trip we can always use the OK button, press and hold it to reset the trip. So now going to the right we have another menu shown for the media, so that will be showing us the currently playing media. Then if you go to the right we have the phone menu. In that it will show the recent calls which we have done. The next one is the messages tab, which will show any messages if it is there. Currently I am sitting in the driver's seat without the seat belts hook, that is what is showing there. And the next one is the settings tab. In that we have multiple themes available for this instrument cluster. Currently we are in a theme called the dynamic. We have another one called fashion. Simply select that and press the OK button to change the theme. Here is a look at the fashion theme. Now that completely changes the things. So in any menu if you want to go back, simply press this left button, it will bring you back to the last screen. So now in the fashion menu, those menu buttons has moved to the top and overall changes as we can see. So again, we will go back to the theme selection. We will go for the technology theme. Here is the technology theme given by the Great Wall Motors. Again, there is a different setup. We'll keep it as dynamic. So if you go back, we have the driving data. This is to reset the range and the tire pressure monitoring, fuel economy details, everything all together at one time. Then we have the unit selection. For mileage, we can select between the kilometer per liter or liter per 100 kilometer options. Then there is a pressure. We can select between different units. And then the temperature, obviously, we can select between the Fahrenheit and degree Celsius. If you go back, then there is a choice of languages, Chinese, English and Arabic. Then there is a factory reset button for the instrument cluster. So that's it. So other than that, here we have some fixed displays at the bottom. Here there is a gear display, there is a drive mode display, the vehicle odometer reading, and the fuel gauge. Here is again the range gauge, and this one is for a gauge for the fuel economy, and here is the engine temperature gauge. The other warnings shall be displayed in the empty spaces accordingly. Here, as you can see, there's a line keep assist function is on. That will be displayed here. Forward collision warning is displayed over here. If there is any messages, a triangle will be coming over there like that. Pretty decent instrument cluster and easy to operate one. And the cruise control, if you go for the cruise button, there are 3 modes. The first one is being the standard cruise control. Then the next one is the fully adaptive cruise control, which has got that steering wheel button on that. So once we are in the adaptive cruise control mode, we can use this button here to control the distance between our car and the one moving in front of us. You can see the distance is adjusted like this. So at any point we can use the set and reset buttons to set the specific speed for the cruise control, and the cruise control will actually increase the speed in an interval of 5 kilometers per hour at each press. So if you want to set the car at any speed other than the multiples of 5, you will have to reach that speed manually and press the set button to activate the cruise at that speed. So that's it about the steering wheel. I hope I have covered everything about it. Now we are coming towards the major attraction, the center console. Nicely arranged center console with some aluminum and piano black finishes here. 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system. It has got this home button here, which will always display the media, the phone connection status, the quick access to the settings, and quick access to the vehicle settings. We'll come to that in a moment. On top we have the time, the HVAC notification, and the phone battery status, Bluetooth status, and the outside temperature displays. At the bottom we have multiple menus given here. The home on the left side and the HVAC on the right side. If you go to the HVAC, we have a single zone automatic AC for this particular car. So basic AC controls here, and the same controls for the AC are given in here as well as manual controls, a nice option. So other than that, we have the radio tab given here. If you go to the radio tab, here is a standard display of the audio. We can choose between AM and FM options here. These stations can be saved and chosen from the other side. Next one is the media control. We have to choose between Bluetooth, USB or iPod. Car comes with an Apple CarPlay. Sadly, there is no Android Auto option given in this particular market, but it is available in some other Asian markets in this particular model. There is a video and photo playback from USB option is there given in this car as well. And at a radio or the media menu, we can directly access the audio settings from this button. This car comes with a simulated DTS kind of sound effect, which can be adjusted to all or only front or rear passengers, depending on our choice. So talking about the audio system, it's a 6-speaker audio system in this full option model, but that doesn't have that much amount of bass which we expect from an audio system of this size of a car. But still, it gives a very good audio. There is no much distortion or anything. And the best sound quality I found it when it was there in the DTS mode on. In DTS mode we cannot adjust the bass, treble or mid ranges or the balance, anything. It is completely done by the car itself. That gives a nice sound effect, but if you turn it off and adjust the values manually, that doesn't give us the good result in fact. So I will always suggest to keep the car in a DTS mode to have a good listening experience. So going on, we have the phone tab, standard one, and the Apple CarPlay. It's a wired one. We can use the USB port given at the bottom to connect to the Apple CarPlay. The next one is the settings tab. So if you go to the settings, we have multiple tabs given on the top. On here we have the general tab, which will give you the factory reset and system update kind of options. Then we have the volume tab. We already discussed it. Below that we have the standard volume levels and the speed dependent volume, etc, etc. So to turn off the speed dependent volume, we can do it from this menu. The next one is the display tab. So in the display tab, we have the first option, driving lock screen. That basically locks the video playback. We have an option to play video in full screen in this standard display when we connect a USB stick with a video file to this USB port here. So while playing the video, we can choose at what speed we have to lock the video or lock the screen from the video playback. The next one is the language selection, night mode for the display brightness. Then there is again two themes available for the infotainment screen, classic and fashion. Currently we are in the classic one. We'll move to the fashion and see how it looks. So here is a look at the fashion theme. The home screen, everything is completely changed now with an all new look, simplified look actually. There's a radio, media, phone, Apple CarPlay and HVAC settings given right here. If you move further, we have the settings and the car settings tab. A simple theme in fact. Then we have color settings. We can choose the infotainment system color between blue, gold and red colors. So the next one is the wallpaper of that is basically this background shown for this particular display. Then there's a standby interface choice options. We can either choose a black screen or a logo of the hour or the time display. That is from the display settings. And then we have the standard time settings to select the time zone and the date and time controls. Then we have the Bluetooth connectivity settings here. So the next one is the car settings tab. If you go to that one, we have different driver assistance packages are available for this car. Those are controlled through this menu. First one is known as the ADAS. That basically has all the safety functions such as the automatic emergency braking system. We can choose that and choose different options to turn on and off. There is a pedestrian detection system. There is a car-to-car emergency brake system and the warning sensitivity, etc. we can adjust from here. Next one is the line support system. So we can choose to turn on the line departure warning and the line keep assist and the line center keeping function. These functions can be turned on and off. So once we have turned on everything, the car will do a lot of adjustments while we are traveling on a track, properly lined one. So the next one, again the sensitivity settings for that. Then the rear cross traffic alert is there. So in that we'll have the blind spot detection and line change assist, rear cross traffic, door opening warning. These functions can be toggled from this menu. Then we have the traffic sign recognition, which is done through the camera mounted on top here. So in that menu we have an option to turn on an overspeed alarm when the car travels over the speed limit detected by the camera. Then again we have the sensitivity adjustments. Next one is the driving settings. Here we can adjust the dynamic stability assistant function. That is basically the electronic stability control kind of an adjustment. The next one is the comfort tab. In that we can choose between the auto folding or manual folding of the rear view mirrors, and the wireless charging pad we have available right here can be turned on and off from this menu. Next one is the headlamps controls. We can choose the delay and leaving lights, timing, etc. Next one is the parking. The car comes along with the semi-automatic parking function as well. So these are the radar settings and the camera settings for the same. So that's it about the infotainment system. Now we move down. We already told that this is the manual controls for the single zone automatic AC system. Below that we have some blank switches and some other car functions. In the center we have the volume control knob that also acts as a mute button when we press it once, and here is a quick access to the car settings menu which we already accessed right now. And on the right side we have an easy access to the high definition 360-degree camera system of this car, and it's a very good camera system. In fact, all cameras are of very high definition, and we can choose between different view options here, between 2D and 3D, or we can choose for the rear and front standard view options. And moving on, we have a hill descent control on and off button here. Then we have the stability control on and off button. So the car comes with an all-wheel drive system which doesn't have any particular selection options here. We only have a 4-wheel low selection button here. Other than that, if you want to go for some minor off-roadings, we can simply press the electronic stability control turn off button and the car is ready for an off-road function. If we want to have more fun with this car, there is a hidden function in this car. Press and hold while the electronic stability control is on. Press and hold that button for some time, and that will enable the cross-country export mode, which is a more capable off-road mode for this car, which is built in, and there is nowhere mentioning in any manual or anywhere about this function, but still the car has it, and it can be used for some more hardcore off-roading which this car is capable of. So moving down, we have a 12-volt power outlet and 2 USB ports, a wireless charging pad very nicely located over here. The center console itself is finished in piano black in the center and leather on the sides. Overall nice finish, very solid. And then comes the gear lever for the 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox. It's an electronic gear lever, beautifully finished. There is a park button in the center. Always in any menu, any gear, we can press this to bring the car to a park mode, or press this button to turn it and push it once to bring it to the neutral, push it again to bring the car to the reverse. Then same we can do for the drive, and once again if you put it to the drive, it will go to the manual mode. It is displayed here as M1. We can use the paddles to shift the gears. Then we have the electronic parking brake here with auto hold function, and we have the park assist function here. So once we push the park assist button, this is a semi-automatic park assist function. So once we turn it on, it will ask us to turn on the indicator lamp to wherever we want to park the car. So actually the car has got only parallel parking detection in this particular model. However, it is there and it is helpful. So next is the 4-wheel low gear selection button. To bring that in action, we have to actually put the car into neutral, then press the button. It will give us the warning 4-wheel low switching. Then we can feel some kind of jerking functions and all of the locking of the differential and etc. So then the car is in the 4-wheel low function. Press it again to unlock it. Then we have the steering mode adjustments here. There are 3 modes available: light, sport and comfort. The next one is a drive mode selection. We have 3 drive modes given. By default, the car will be always in the normal drive mode when we start the car. If you want to change it, rotate the knob, then you can select between the eco or the sport mode, which will always be displayed here in the instrument cluster. So that's it about the center console. Now moving on, we have 2 nice cup hold, one very deep one and one with a normal capacity. If you open the storage space, there is an adjustable storage area right here, along with a decent amount of storage space here with some card holders located on the top. So Overall, a really nice interior, nice works done by Great Wall Motors. If you open the glove box, standard glove box here. Now, on the passenger side, we can see there is a grab handle given on the top and on the side. On the driver side, there is only one sunglass holder located over here. The sun shades comes with the vanity mirrors. There is no illumination available though. Now in the top we have the auto dimming rear view mirror, and there is a USB to charge the dash cam if you want. On the top we have the lighting controls. If you want to turn on all the lights, press this button and you will turn on all the lights inside the car. There is a nice lamp given here as well. If you want to turn on individual lights, you can use these buttons to turn on for each side. The sunroof here is a standard sunroof only, small one, but still it is there. And if you can use these controls to open and close the sunroof. There is no automatic closing function. We have to push and hold it. So that's it about the front cabin of the Poyer. Let's go to the rear side and see how is the space there. So when we open up the rear door, the door is comparatively on a smaller size, but still finished in these similar finishes of the front end. Only difference is the top end also comes with a hard touch plastic this time. There is window control and one of the speakers available with some nice amount of storage space. And when we look at the rear seats, here it is finished in dual tone with a black and leather finish with a center armrest and etc. Let's step inside and see how spacious it is. Yeah, so when we close the door, the front seats are adjusted to my height, that is 6 feet, and I'm getting plenty of leg space here, and the headroom is also adequate, so there is no problems at all to sit for 3 passengers. Also here in the rear seat of this car we have rear AC vents available, along with a household style 220 volt power outlet and another USB port here. There is a nice armrest given for the rear passengers, even though there is no cup holders given here. There is a lamp given for the rear passengers, 2 grab handles, and there is a small hump at the bottom, but that is not an issue at all. Small storage spaces given behind the seats, so the rear space is overall really comfortable. And here is a look at the front cabin from the rear side. So the rear seats are foldable in a 60-40 manner in order to access some of the tools. So if you want, we can fold the seats and access to the tools given at the bottom. The same can be done from the other side as well. So here we have the jack given for the car. And if you lift it up, if you want to have a flat storage area, we can lift both seats up and we can use it as a flat storage space. So that's it about the interior of the car. Now let's drive the Poyer and see how it performs. So let's take a look at the engine bay. So here is a look at the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine which we talked earlier. So it produces 188 horsepower along with 360 Newton meters of torque. A really good engine, mated with an 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox, and it is also very well acoustically insulated. We don't have much engine noise issues from the inside. That is a plus point of this car. So let's drive the car and see how it performs. So here we are in the Poyer. Let's try a quick 0 to 60. Let's put it into sport mode and try to floor it. Yeah, that was a quick 100 in the sport mode. So yeah, so when we drive this car, the first thing which we notice is the the size of this car and the road presence and the riding height, that gives a different feeling. Actually, this car is pretty big. It's a mid-size pickup, but it has built to feel it even more bigger, even from the exterior and from the interior. When we are sitting here, we have got a very high mounted seating position. That is a good advantage. And also the engine, as you can see, that gives a really nice throttle response. It is just a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo with only 188 horsepower, and with a massive truck of this size, that gives a really nice response to the throttle. That is the fine refinement, plus the ZF 8-speed auto. That does a very good job of shifting the gears really smoothly. So altogether, we are getting a really nice driving experience in this car. I never felt like we are lagging while overtaking or something, especially we are in the sport when we are in the sport mode. If you are in the eco or normal mode, that's a different story. So if you want a good throttle response, always we have to keep the car in a sport mode. And also the noise inside is very well managed. You will find, or you will feel, slight road noise when we are above the 120 kilometer speed limit or something. That is especially because of these mirrors and all. Otherwise, there is no much engine noise, no much road noise. Everything is acoustically insulated and refined in a very smooth manner. That is also an advantage of this car. And the comfort level of the seats, even though it has got only 6 levels of adjustments, it gives a really nice support altogether. We don't have much adjustments, especially like lumbar supports and all. It is not there, but still the car is really comfortable. I was been driving it for around 4 to 5 days now, and I was really comfortable with this car. And especially the thigh supports are always given really nicely. We will face issues with the thigh support in some other big cars. That is a drawback, but here it is clearly solved by the Great Wall Motors. Now when we talk about the remaining features, the safety wise, considering the price point, car offers all the available safety functions such as the lane keep assist, line departure warning, forward collision warning, rear cross traffic alert, and automatic emergency braking, etc, etc. So a lot of things to help you with the driving and make it very easy. The 360-degree camera system given in this car is a fantastic one of the best in class, we have to say. In this price point, we will not get this kind of camera system in any other brand. So let's try some mild off-roading here. Here we have kind of a dunes setup. So let's put the car into cross-country expert mode, press and hold the electronic stability, and here we have the cross-country expert mode selected. We'll try to enter this sandy area and see how the car performs. The car does it really well. It's really easy to handle in this sandy area and gives us a really good throttle response as well. As we can see, we can easily maneuver through the sandy areas really well. A very good capable off-roader. Keep pushing, it does very well, man. Wow, really impressed with the performance of the Poya. We are trying it once again. And I plan to take it to the top and take some photographs. Wow, really impressed with it. And so here we are with the Poyer in the middle of a desert, and the car does the job really well. I'm really impressed with the off-roading capability of this car. So that was the review of the Great Wall Poyer 2022. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with some new videos very soon. Till then, take care, drive safe and goodbye.